So this shit crazy.
So what how DJ Khaled say another one?
I'll probably say just the topics, like me being able to really go in depth in topics on the project. 'Cause I feel like before that, I was talking about things, but you couldn't necessarily listen to the song and be like, it was about this. But I feel like throughout the tape, it's a lot easier to tell. I think it's just more like self-development as well, just like looking at things, analysing things, and then thinking, what can I do better? And I've just been working on it ever since. Yeah, I've always been like that. I've always been kind of deep with things, but I think it's definitely got better over time. But yeah, I've always been like that, to be honest. I feel like it's more for the fans to give them like a body of work to take in over time. 'Cause I feel like single, it kind of gets boring, just putting out single after single. But when it comes to a tape and you can actually sit back, work on it, and be like, all right, they're gonna like this, they're gonna take it in a certain way. I feel like it's just better, to be honest. But a lot of artists just do singles because they can't make mixtapes on. It's true. I feel like people will see the growth as well. The first project might be, oh, he was in this stage in his life. Then the next one is like, oh, he's starting to improve, and then so on and so on. I'd probably say yeah to both. Like, my life was definitely changing very quickly, but it's also like I record quite a lot of music all the time, so it was only right. It just made sense to put out a tape. Yeah, all new songs. When was it now? We started working on it in December and then finished at the end of December, yeah. But Money and Vibes, we had recorded that in July. To be honest, it's definitely changed as I've got older. I didn't really take it that serious as I was younger in it, so my work ethic wasn't really there. But nowadays, because I'm doing it so much, it just kind of becomes natural. I try not to say my age too much to people. I just let them see everything that I've done first and then be like, oh, he's only 19. Because when you say, oh, I'm 19, they kind of put you in a box. Kind of try to little bro you a bit in it, and I don't really like that. Definitely makes you go harder because you feel like you've got something to prove to people, even though you shouldn't feel like that. But it does feel like that occasionally. Yeah, definitely. Like, I never looked at it as a thing where it would be a disadvantage. It just was more motivation to just try harder and harder, definitely. Obviously, a lot of things are in London. Everything's in London nowadays. Like, you hear music, it's more time it's in London. All the biggest artists are from London. So outside of London, it's like, I feel like you have to work 10 times harder in order to get yourself known. It was a thing where when I first came into the game with Elevate, it was a time where I just stopped making music for like 6 months. It was about 6 months where I was just kind of in a weird headspace. But in that time, it allowed me to sort of see what everyone else is doing and just do the opposite. So when I came back with Elevate, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes, because it's fresh. It was new to me, so I thought it would be new to everyone else. And then when I seen how well it was received, I thought, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing now. It was mainly a thing where a lot of people make the same music and it all sounds the same. So I thought, how are you meant to stand out if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, you know? So I thought, if I do something different, I'm going to be the person at leading the pack, basically. That's the whole point. That's how you stand out. You got to be yourself. A lot of people who aren't really being different, they're not really being themselves, are they? So, yeah. It was uncomfortable at the start because I'm not used to it. Like, people saying, yo, Nemzzz, yo, da-da-da. And then when it comes to shows as well, it's like, it's a lot. But then I just think they're here for me. So it kind of boosts my confidence and it gets rid of all the anxiety and everything, and I just go with the flow. But it's still to this day, I do find it weird though when people are like, yo, you Nemzzz. Because sometimes I just be wanting to be in my own world. You know what? It was actually because I wanted my name on Instagram to just be Nemzzz, and that was already taken. So I just put 3 Zs and it worked. But yeah, that was it. I did use that as an excuse to some people a few times, to be honest. Yeah, 3 Zs means I'm sleeping, innit? I feel like it's important, innit? Because these are the people who are buying the tickets, streaming the music, basically putting me in the position I am today. So the least I could do is just meet them in person, see what's going on, just chat to them, innit? I did one at Wingstop and I didn't expect that many people to come. I was just like, what? All these people in the room, but there's another one. There's been a couple, especially at my tour. There was one at my tour where there was this little kid who got on stage. I don't know how old he was. I think he was like 9 or 10, but he was rapping the whole song. I was so surprised. That just like let me know that I was doing something right. To be honest, I just didn't want my mum to hear it. That was it. There was no other reason, you know. Even to this day, even though I'm of age now, I still feel weird when my mum hears me swearing, so that was it. To be honest, it was from 2M's, when I made 2M's, and that was just 2 million streams, because I made it to thank everyone for 2 million on Elevate. And then since then, I've just been trying to keep it as that. So I've been finding different ways to just incorporate it. So I'll listen to the song, think of a topic to do with the song, and then just put it into abbreviations. But yeah, that's just something I've been running with. I like to be in the studio by myself if I have something, like if I have a deadline for something. So say, for example, the tape is something serious, so I'll be like, right, I got to focus 100%. But if it's just like I'm just on a normal studio session, I might get my friends around and etc., etc. But I try to keep it by myself because I can think freely. I can do both, but I prefer to write at home first. Because in the studio, I can write very quick. Like a lot of producers tell me I write pretty quick. So I always think if I just take my time, it'll be 10 times better than me just writing quick, you know? But yeah, only producer right now, yeah. You know what it was like? We just work together well. It's just good chemistry as well. And like, he can disagree on something and I can agree, or we can both vice versa, and we can just come to a conclusion, a summary on the beat. 'Cause I feel like a lot of producers nowadays, they just don't really hear what you're trying to say. They still want to do their own thing. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know if they just don't know how to do it. But a lot of producers are like that. So I found with Zell, it's just easy to work with. If you hear a song by me this year, it's Zell, 100%. Literally, I'll message him and be like, I need a beat. Or I'll be scrolling, find the sound for the beat, or send it him, or vice versa. He'll find something, send it to me, send me an idea, and we'll just keep working on it. But we work pretty quickly, so we'll be like, he'll send me an idea one day, the beat's finished by the end of the day. And then you can imagine how that is through the week. So it's pretty easy to make songs with him. Yeah, definitely, because most of the samples that I've used, I actually listen to the songs. So like, say for example, PTSD, Sade, Like a Tattoo. I actually like that song. Like I was listening to it for a long time before we actually used it. And then even Money and Vibes, the Rock Your Body cover, I actually really liked the cover that a female artist did. And I was listening to it repeatedly. So when it came to the session, I was like, put this here. I just want to hear how it sounds. Because I'll never use a sample to gain more, like, to reach a larger audience. It'll just be more for just me, because I just like it, you know? It was last year, July. It was only last year, July, recently. But before that, I was working with this producer called Sai, and then there was another one called AO West as well. He used to do, like, Nemzzz type beats on YouTube, and I just thought, let me just hit him up. And he produced most of the songs on the last tape, the one that I did last year. Because I thought I might as well just establish my own sound with this tape, and it kind of did what it needed to do. I wouldn't want to be an artist where they hear me and then think of someone else. I want to make sure if they hear a beat what sounds like mine, they think, oh, this sounds like Nemzzz. If they hear a flow like mine, they say it sounds like Nemzzz. I feel like it's best to be, what's the word? Original. It's best to be original. I wanted to be a footballer. Yeah, I wanted to be a footballer, but that didn't work to plan. But when it comes to I say I did and I didn't at the same time. 'Cause I always wanted to do music, but I never actually thought I'd do it. You know, because growing up like with my family having a musical background, it was very like influenced by the music. I'm always hearing it thinking, oh, let me just go rap. Let me just try to sing. But I never thought I'd do it. But here we are today, I guess. I was more influenced by the music I was listening to at the time. So it was more like, at the time I was listening to like Nines, Scraps, etc. So I was doing the real rap thing when I came into when I started my career. And it was bad and it was good because I was listening to it so much, the music was sounding like that. So I had to just kind of stop listening to that, handle what I needed to do first, and then come back to it. All of them is an organic relationship. So like even K-Trap, we had a song a year ago, but it never came out. So that was always something that was just naturally going to happen. And Hedy, we actually linked up, we spoke before, like, you know, we actually built a relationship first before making the song. And then Yachty as well, he reached out just off his own back. He posted me on his story. I just hit him up saying thanks. He was like, yeah, let's work. And that just came about like that. Drake, it was Drake, yeah. That surprised me the most. Because it was just like, actually, no, A$AP Rocky. That was A$AP Rocky. He messaged me one time and just put gang. And that was it. I was just like, what? I don't know, I don't want to get gassed. Man. Probably Lil Baby. That's because that was just my favourite artist, though, for ages. So that would just be like nostalgic. But apart from that, there's no one really, you know. There's no one else. I think once I got that from Drake, it was like, who else? Yeah, I don't know. Sade, I think Erykah Badu. I'd love to make a song with her. And then Cleo Soul as well. Cleo Soul's sick. Cause it's not everyday headbang music, man. Sometimes it's too much for the mind. Sometimes you need to just chill out. I definitely want to start working on the album now. I don't know if it'll come out next, like the next body of work will be the album, but I definitely want to start from now working on it. Definitely. I feel like it's more exciting than just dropping music. Because, you know, you can go out, you can fly out somewhere, do a writing camp on the beach. It could be in Switzerland, it could be anywhere. I feel like it's just more of a moment. Me, Zell, manager, and we'd be on a beach somewhere. Probably like Barbados or something. Yeah. Who else? I'm trying to think who else. And my dog. And my dog as well. Nostalgic. Because I feel like, me personally, when I hear the beats I make, it makes me think of something. Like a memory a memory. I just get that feeling because I won't use a beat if it don't make me feel something. Yeah, I always try to bring that extra nostalgia, but it mostly comes from the beat. When I hear the beat first, it just gives me this feeling. Yeah, so I've got my tour from the 30th of April to the 7th of May. And that's mostly sold out. We just got Manchester because that's the biggest venue. So that's just about to sell out as well. And then I'll have a Europe tour later on in the year. I think it'll be around October. I'm not too sure. But I'm definitely excited for that.